CO. Hello. Um, I have this morning a few things I want to go over. Try not to be long. But I wanted to talk to you about different things. But before we get into everything here, um, first I got a link here. This is to a dear friend and sister. And she creates um, different things like necklaces, dream catchers, bracelets, and different things. And you have to check out her price. You need to ask her, talk to her about them. She'll show you the pictures of them and everything. She great job, and I will introduce you to her, so to speak, here in just a few. But in the chat, I'm going to give you the link. That's her link right there. Just go to her link, on YouTube. That's her YouTube channel, and show her some love. Subscribe to her. She's an awesome sister, and I appreciate her very much. She's got a good heart on her, and she's a no nonsense person. I love her. She's an awesome sister. She's great. So go show her some love, all right? And also, I want to talk about, just a little bit on the news, and then a few other things. Just a little touch up on certain subjects, which is really interesting. You can go to my other channel. Did a live last night experience, and discussed about Bigfoot, Sasquatch, hairy ones. Uh, some will even say skunk apes or whatever. They have different names, but we'll discuss that. Discuss also different things, but and also, in case you don't know, and this is the first time you are here, also, we do discussions on things where, like maybe you got complaints, want to get something off your shoulders, your back, it's weighing on you. Pressure's been building, and you got to get it out. You don't have to mention no names, just talk about what's going on, and just discuss only what uh, you feel comfortable with sharing. And I recommend that if you will talk about it, you will feel a little bit more at ease inside, because that pressure tends to build up. And I was like on my live last night. Person could probably see in the chat where one person I ignored them, which wasn't easy. Mentioned something that more or less to get a rise out of me, and but I ignored it. And that's kind of a hard thing to do, especially with the pressure and things I've been going through, on certain things, which I've already covered before, Excuse me. Bad habit. I gotta quit them. And it's not easy to do. And anyone who's ever had a bad habit like smoking or something, it's not easy to just do. Some people can. A lot of people can't. Different things work for different people. I don't know what'll work for me yet, but hey, okay. I have first All right, my dear friend, Enola if I'm pronouncing it wrong, sis, forgive me. Uh, Enola Kateria, I think it's right. Uh, Panther, but she's also known as Enola Wolf, okay. But anyway, uh, I'm going to share this with you so that I can get it up. Here.
But first,
Oh, wrong one.
National Guard troops
Wrong one. Wrong one. I hit the wrong one. Okay, I'll get it here in a minute. There it is. There it is. I got the, yeah. Only me. All right, only me. Okay, here's the right one.
In the last few days, I've felt more creative and connected with spirits. They've been guiding me on the writing poems and healing quotes. And I want to share that with people as much as I can. I also make dream catchers and jewelry and stuff. And I put a lot of my energy and time into what I do, and it heals me and makes me one with the Creator, and it just is a very spiritual thing for me, and I like to share it with people and spread my energy and healing to other people throughout my path, and it's very powerful for me. So with love and light, my energy goes into everything I do, and it connects me to my spirit guides and the Creator.
And that's the dear sister I've been telling you about, and she is really awesome. And anyway, you get a chance, show her some love on her channel. Now that video was from last year on her channel, but anyway, show her some love and check out her work that she does. She'd be happy to show you the pictures and of her work and the prices and things. You won't be disappointed. She does great work, okay? So show her a lot of love, all right? And I want to get into, where is it? I'll have to pull it up. All right. I had it there just a minute ago. Where is that? There it goes. Now this is, I first want to touch on this before I get into the other, all right? It's has to do with what's in the news about the Rittenhouse thing here. And would like to know your thoughts on this, all right? Um, I tell you what, this is really something. A judge. Let's see, the jury. People have been trying to threaten a jury, trying to find their homes. Some of them, where they live, like, etc. And stuff. They take pictures of them and all this, and I mean, a bunch of thugs doing this, right? To intimidate, to get a verdict of their choosing. There is no such thing anymore as innocent until proven guilty. You're just proven guilty no matter what it is. And now it is from thugs, You know, I mean, they're like lynch mobs. Remember the old Western, you know, the movies and stuff, the lynch mobs? This is what they are. Lynch mobs. Okay?
But first, hundreds of Wisconsin National Guard troops are activated ahead of the expected verdict in the Kyle Rittenhouse next week. And as the judge rules that the jury will be able to now consider lesser charges, there are reports that he is getting death threats. And one of them reads, "Enjoy your term, Judge. It's going to be your last. If I ever meet you in person, I fully intend to spit directly into your face, regardless the cost. You're disgusting." Now, Rittenhouse's mother is coming to the judge's defense.
Judge Schroeder is a fair judge. He does not like the nonsense in the courtroom. And anybody that lives in Kenosha or Kenosha County knows that. And he is a fair judge. And I have respect for that.
All right, guys, Emily, I want to come to you first because I want to talk about these lesser charges. You know, this reads to me like prosecutors feel like they're not going to get this guy on the murder charge, so they're going to try for something else. Is that what you're reading too?
Right, I think that's a good overarching takeaway from this. And keep in mind that the more charges that are thrown at the jury, the more explanations, the more complicated it becomes, then the more confused they are. And frankly, the harder it is to come to a seamless consensus decision for Kyle Rittenhouse. And this is what I want viewers to understand. First of all, if prosecutors seek those lesser convictions, then a life sentence is off the table. And what was going back and forth between the judge and prosecution and defense are lower charges on both the initial murder from intentional homicide down to a lower degree, meaning that yes, he feared his life was in danger, but it was an unreasonable use of force. And the second decrease was in regards to the endangered or reckless endangerment homicide. And that is essentially, or actually that wasn't the homicide, it was the shooting. And that was that there was no utter disregard for life regarding the reporter that was standing behind the victim there. So there's a lot to go into for these juries, but I think that what remains to be seen is how the prosecution will seek these actual charges. And remember, there's a chance that they might still throw in a provocation instruction, which means that regardless if we think, if the jury thinks that indeed he feared for his life and used reasonable force for that self-defense argument, it throws it all off the table if it was he who provoked those men that night.
Okay, we're going to see what happens in the next 48 hours here. He should come out with something on Monday. Sean, there's been so many outside opinions on this case. You know, people like LeBron James this week got a lot of heat because he was pretty much making fun of Kyle Rittenhouse, saying that he was being fake on the stand when he was crying. CNN's Don Lemon seems to think that the judge is being biased, calling him, saying that he's treating Kyle Rittenhouse as if he's his grandson. And then there's this, the media basically slamming the judge here. Watch.
I've never seen anything like this before, where a judge yelled quite like this. His behavior is, at the very least, unusual and concerning, treating Kyle Rittenhouse as if he's his grandson. Just berating the prosecution. No one needs to be berated like that in the courtroom.
He has made a series of decisions. Each one perhaps may be individually defensible, but in totality lead to the impression of a biased, racist judge.
Okay, but there are people who've known this judge for years, and they completely disagree with this. Meanwhile, he's getting threats. Sean, what's happening here?
So let's take a step back for a moment. I think, per Emily's analysis, when you look at the facts, and you want, as a prosecutor, you want to make it as simple as possible for the jury to understand. So yes, Kyle Rittenhouse is there. Yeah, maybe he shouldn't have been there. Some jurors might think, and he had a gun. They might think he shouldn't have a gun. But when you simply look and say he did not prompt or instigate anything with the protesters, and when he came into conflict, he actually fled. He tried to get away. He ran away until his life was in danger, until he fell and someone pointed a gun at him. Did he actually fire when someone was, swinging a skateboard at his neck? Did he fire? Or when he was caught behind a dumpster? So I think when you simplify it, this is a really easy case of self-defense. But here's my concern, Aisha. It's that if you have liberals on the jury, as you listen to liberals across the country, they're not looking at facts. They're just about emotion, and the emotion of this is very real for them. And if you get 12 liberals on the jury, they very well may convict them. But we have to remember, it has to be unanimous. So all 12 jurors have to agree to guilt or to innocence. If anyone disagrees, it'll be a hung jury. They'll have to retry it. And just one last point. I think this prosecutor was a horrible prosecutor. And the defense and the prosecution, they're not the evidence. It's the witnesses and the videotape. But both lawyers present theories of the case to the jury.
You know, the thing is that, I mean, the whole thing is just ridiculous, right? I would like to know your thoughts on this, okay? You know, share your thoughts. Don't be afraid. I mean, let's face it. I mean, you're threatening a judge. You know, but just because things ain't going the way you want it to go, you know, it's like, no, you know, and then they talk about fair, and now they're wanting to throw the race card in. Okay, they got to throw that in, yeah, and it's kind of like, seriously. Anyway, would like to know your thoughts on that. But I have some thing here that would be of interest to some of you. Okay, and now this is really cool. I want you to listen to it. These guys are really good. Squatch watchers. Okay, you can check their channel out on YouTube. And it is really cool. It's a trail cam photo, and you gotta see it really. And you'll have to come to one conclusion, that it's definitely, actually several conclusions. It's not a bear. All right, it's not a dog, and it's not someone in a suit. Okay, you got to listen to this. This is really interesting. So I want to pull this up for you and let you watch it. This is really cool.
On location to talk about one of the best birthday presents that I have ever received. We've been teasing folks on our Facebook page to see if they can guess what this is, and well, you might get the reveal today. But Rex asked us to come on location today and meet with this individual, and I'm going to let him introduce himself for the camera and all the folks at home.
I'm Joe Hunt. I live around here for several years now, and I was hunting one day and had my camera up, and whatever it is come by, you know, that's about it, you know. And people that looked at it, some says it was a bear and some says it's not, so you know, it's just up to us to decide what it is, you know. Don't matter different to me one way or the other, but if it was Bigfoot, I'd like to seen it. You know.
Well, we're here to try to hopefully shed some light on that. So I'm just going to ask Taylor real quick for everybody at home. When you saw the picture, the rough picture that I've got on my phone so far, what did you think?
In my mind, what gives it away, there's no way to me that it's a bear. With the arm, there's no a bear just sort of walks like a, if it stands up, kind of like a T-Rex walk, I guess. And that's got just a huge bicep. To me, I can see it. It looks like, especially the inverts and stuff. But
well, when Rex showed me the picture and asked us to come up, I couldn't wait to talk to you, Joe. And first and foremost, the area that the picture was taken that we're going to show our audience here in just a little bit, how long have you hunted that area?
Probably about 15 years.
So you've been up there long enough to know the area pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
You said it was privately owned up until here just not long ago.
Mm-hmm.
So now it is truly on game lands. So it is now a part of South Mountain State Park and not just adjacent to it.
Yep.
we actually had the pleasure of earlier this year actually going into a really deep portion of South Mountain and doing a hunt with some friends of ours that invited us up and actually caught some thermal footage, if you will.
Yeah, you have to check it. I mean,
we can't explain away.
awesome.
And there's a lot of things that went on with that hunt that night that we believe could have been a Sasquatch. And so whenever we hear anybody, and we're right close to the area where we went in about 6 months ago on our hunt. So to be here with Joe and be able to see his evidence is even better. So with Joe's permission, I'm going to get the photograph here and let everybody see it, and then we're going to talk about that here just for a minute. All right, we've got another member that's just joined us, and we're going to introduce our audience to Delbert real quick. Delbert, will you tell everybody who you are and kind of your area of expertise as far as a hunter for these parts?
Well, my name is Delbert Enola, and I've lived here all my life in the Golden Valley area. And I've hunted all my life. Hunted by myself since I was 11 years old. And I've hunted out west in some of the most remote areas that man could be in, all right? So, and I did not believe in Bigfoot whatsoever until I seen this picture here that was given to me by Joe Hunt here. And that's convinced me that there is something out here that needs to be looked into, you know?
So my question to you, Delbert, you obviously know what a bear is. Yes. Okay. This isn't a bull elk. It's not a road cow. All right. The audience is going to get a chance to see this here in a little bit. But the biggest thing for me, you guys could have just had a picture 3 foot off the ground and took a picture of the foot of this creature only. This foot right here, the ball of the heel, okay, the pad of the foot. There's a bend right here in that foot. There's a joint, just so you guys know. Our joint's right there on top of our toes, okay? This creature is bending his foot back here behind the pad, okay? There's a joint in this foot, I believe, that puts this creature in the prime family, okay? Did out here in the woods, host somebody. You said yourself it was on privately owned land, so chances are that, you know, no one really knows where you have your trail camera at. There's nobody out here trying to punk you or pull a hoax on you. And this picture was taken actually in June, right? Yes. So for this time of year in this area, for somebody trying to dress up in an ape outfit and punk somebody is risking their life with temperatures that we've had here, 100 plus degrees. So I truly don't believe that you've been punked, all right? I have looked at this picture now for almost a week and a half, 2 weeks, and I've done a lot of cleanup on it on the computer and a lot of different things. And when you take away all the fuzz and all the outlining, you actually put a structure to it. You can clearly see, okay, this is his arm right here going up. All this in the background here is just the sweeping motion of where it just kind of stepped through and pulled or draw the photography or the photo out. But I can clearly see the arm on you, and this picture was taken actually in June, right? Mm-hmm. Yes. So for this time of year in this area, for somebody trying to dress up in an ape outfit and punk somebody is risking their life with the temperatures that we've had this year of 100 plus degrees. So I truly don't believe that you've been punked, all right? I have looked at this picture now for almost a week and a half, 2 weeks, and I've done a lot of cleanup on it on the computer and a lot of different things. And when you take away all the fuzz and all the outlining and you actually put a structure to it, you can clearly see, okay, this is his arm right here going up. All this in the background here is just the sweeping motion of the where it just kind of stepped through and pulled or draw the photography or the photo out. But I can clearly see the arm. I can see the clenched hand. He actually is carrying his hand clenched like this right here. And when you start looking at the haunches on this thing, the butt area, this is a huge, huge creature. And everyone's looking at the head up here. This is kind of a blur. But when you start really making out where the head is and how big this thing is and the fact that it is actually lurched over in a locomotion, you know, it's walking pretty quick through this area. It's not just hanging around to turn around and smile for the camera. It was just on its way, and I'm sure it didn't even know the camera was there. So they'll get a chance to actually see the whole full-size picture of this thing. But you said, Delbert, up until this, you didn't believe.
I never believed. The only thing, not in this area. Now, maybe in 1967, the film that they showed it, and the one of California.
The Patterson gimbal film.
And he'll be walking and taking 4-foot strides, and you can see the muscles are working, action in his leg. That kind of convinced me that there could be a creature, because at that time, they didn't have, there was just no way that they could have come up with, every time it made its stride, you could see the muscles working in its leg.
Correct.
And the way he turned his head, and it was something similar to this right here, because his shoulders have to move with his head. And then when Joe showed me this picture right here, I was amazed. And I got to looking at the feet here, how big they were. And I said, the hair is real thin. A lot of people says, well, it's a bear, but a bear has thick hair.
Yeah.
It's just a little curly.
This hair's hanging long and loose.
That's right. It kind of reminds me of one of them Labrador retrievers.
Yeah.
You know how thin the hair is?
Yeah.
And I showed it to Glenn Pruitt, which you guys may know him, and he told me, he said, it's the skunk man. And I said, well, I don't know what it is, but there it is. It don't lie. Pictures don't lie. And when I talked to Mr. Leo here earlier, he told me that he had a footprint and had hair. And when he seen this right here.
So now you can understand why the hair's in the print.
That's right. And so when I seen this and he took a look at it, he was convinced, because he told me, and I got a kick out of it. He said, I got one of the best footprints that you'll ever see. And I said, well, I think I got one of the best pictures you'll ever see east of the Mississippi River anyway, so we got a little life out of that, Joe didn't want no notoriety over, I guess he thought people think he was crazy, but they've been,
well,
they have been not pictures, but people have seen this over in Kaiser area.
Yeah.
And we just call it Nobby also. That's the name that they give it. So we just said, well, he's free ranging and the county line ain't but 2 miles away. So, and where they've seen it at as the crow flies 3-4 miles straight. So, so we just called it Nobby also.
Well, it always helps us to be able to go and actually meet the people who are closely connected to either whether it's a sighting or a photograph or anything, so that we can get a take on them. And I will tell my audience at home, I have no reason to believe that anybody's trying to hoax or punk us with this picture.
No.
I believe what they're telling us, and I'm really excited to be able to show this to you. So I'm going to hold this up for the camera, and then Rex get a really good shot of this here in a little bit, and then we're going to really let you guys take a look at this.
Also, I would like to say what it's got a special meaning to me. That's where my grandmother was raised at, where that picture was taken.
That's awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Did she ever have any stories of?
I've heard them too.
How high was your camera off the ground? Like,
It's probably waist high.
4 feet, maybe.
About 4 foot.
Let's check that out again.
Well, it always helps us to be able to go and actually meet the people who are closely connected to either whether it's a sighting or a photograph or anything, so that we can get a take on them. And I will tell my audience at home, I have no reason to believe that anybody's trying to hoax or punk us with this picture.
No.
I believe what they're telling us, and I'm really excited to be able to show this to you. So I'm going to hold this up for the camera, and then Rex get a really good shot of this here in a little bit, and then we're going to really let you guys take a look at this.
Also, I would like to say what it's got a special meaning to me. That's where my grandmother was raised at, where that picture was taken.
that's awesome. Yeah, awesome. Did she ever have any stories of?
I've never.
I mean, what do you think of that, guys? if you want to watch the rest of that, you be sure to go to their channel and you'll see this footage. I mean, it is really awesome. I mean, that is not a bear, and it's not a person in a suit, and it's not a dog. So, I mean, really, I mean, I think that's pretty awesome. It's a pretty good picture. To me, it's convincing. But see, everyone is different on how you view things, so it's up to you. Please comment and share your thoughts on it. And I have another video. I gotta pull it up, and let's see. Okay, this one here, I'm not gonna show its full entirety. I mean, it's from the Thinker Thunker channel on YouTube. It's called the Alberta Bigfoot Proof It's Not a Bear. And now the one you saw from the Squatch Watchers, the name of that video is Best Bigfoot Trail Cam Photo Ever, okay? So, anyway, I'm going to pull this one up. And this is the Alberta Bigfoot photo, Proof It's Not a Bear, by the Thinker Thunker, their channel. And see what you think about this.
This little animated intro I did has been seen over 11 million times here on YouTube now. Just so happens it makes a pretty cool t-shirt, which you can get right down here below in my new YouTube t-shirt shop, or go to thinkerthunker.com. Check it out. And in today's video, normally I don't get into photographs because they can be edited, they can be altered a million times easier than video can. But this photo just keeps coming up. It's called the Alberta Bigfoot photo, and it's like one of these illusions, a mind trick, where some people swear they see a bear or a big dog, and others swear they see some big giant furry thing lounging in a meadow. Now, my goal here isn't to prove that it's a Bigfoot, but I will prove that it's not a bear or dog or anything like that. Let's go check it out. Now, here's see. And this 3D model is a gorilla, not a Bigfoot, but it's a very natural primate pose. He could be having a snack there. He could be playing chess, tending a young one, whatever. But we primates, we sit like that. We lounge like that. So that.
Let me just add this. Humans are not primates, and I'm sorry. My father, my mother, your mother and father and their grandparents were not primates, okay? We're not monkeys, we're not apes, okay? So just a little FYI, I had to add my 2 cents in there. All right, let's continue.
That is very realistic, very believable pose for me. And it's obviously not a dog, because dogs have that classic leg, dog leg, that bent dog shape. Now look at the dog leg compared to the red line. What's there? Not similar at all. It is not a dog leg shape. Okay, so now we're inside a 2D animation program, and I've cut out an image of a bear here because it's facing the same general direction that this image on the left is, if you believe it's a bear. And I've also given this guy some bones so that we can bend it around some. And we'll just get that back leg back there a little. And this hump, this is the first problem. Here's what this bear would have to be doing. Something like that. That's not bending its back. That's pinching its back, just above its tailbone. Bears have spines like ours with vertebrae. They bend gradually, incrementally out towards the center the most. They don't bend just above the tailbone like that. Unless, of course, you think this is a bear with a birth defect. And now you're really grasping at straws.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you was to take this and stand it up on its two legs, be taller than most humans. And I mean, say with an average height of a human being anywhere from 5'6" to about 6 foot, whatever, I mean, look how long. I mean, just from its sitting position, look at those arms. I mean, that's not it's not. All right, you've seen gorillas, but it's not a gorilla. Okay, and it's not a bear. Bears don't have arms like that. And the width of the back and everything, and the leg is often pretty long. So if you was to stand it up, I mean, just think about it. Now I'm gonna let it just play for just a few more minutes, and then I'm gonna remove it.
The second problem with the bear theory is look at a bear over here on the right. Look at its actual hind leg. It's relatively small and shapeless. Compare that to this shape over here. I mean, we see massive amounts of muscle. We see a completely different shape. So for you to believe this is a bear, you have to believe two things. One, that it's a bear with a back deformity, and that its lower leg is massively built up and muscular. So you're going to have to provide some photos of that. Otherwise, your bear is not
That's not a leg. That's an arm.
Drop this illustration of a human arm in here.
Yeah.
And
now the legs are bent off
down
to the side on the right.
And turn it a little
That's
bit.
the arm right
A little
there,
bit more.
which obviously you can
Look
tell.
at that. Perfect fit. And so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to up the ante, beef this muscle up a little, not a little, a great deal to show us just what we're dealing with. Something about like that. Look at that. That is a fit. A perfect fit. All those muscle groups lining up. Even if you think that's a man in a suit, they did what an amazing job they did. Laying in all these muscles for that suit. Just to get one shot of it sitting out there with its back to us. Show me that suit. Prove that. And now watch. If I take this layer and I make an overlay of it, look how perfectly all of those muscle groups line up. Okay, so now, was this photograph digitally enhanced? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop this out here, and I'm going to just simply start pushing the levels here on the exposure. And something funny happens when you do that. It shifts the photograph and kind of reveals the dominant color. See that kind of purple hue that's everywhere? Maybe it was the color of the light at that moment, or maybe it's a characteristic of the camera, but that dominant color becomes kind of like a fingerprint for that photograph. A little telltale sign that can't really be fake unless you purposely go in and change the color of it. And we'll try that again. Look at these pings. Pushing the levels. We see all of that blue from the sky and the ocean was refracting that blue light everywhere, and the penguin's fur was absorbing all that light. And so blue here was the dominant color, the fingerprint of that photo. And if we look at this, it's pretty easy to tell what the dominant here is. It's green. All of that green is just refracting and bouncing around everywhere, getting absorbed into that bear's fur. So if I stole objects from other photographs and put them here in this photograph, would they retain that original fingerprint, that original dominant color? And if I start pushing the levels, yes, they do. So the fact that we see one dominant color, that purple, consistent throughout this photograph of the Alberta Bigfoot, tells me that nothing has been added here.
Now, that was pretty cool. You know, that was awesome. Now, like your thoughts on that. Share it. Don't be afraid. Just be sure you can give your thoughts on that. I got one more video that I want to share with you. All right, and now this is very fascinating, if I can find it. Okay, now this is a UFO that was caught on camera. Pentagon confirms leaked images and video. Okay, that confirmed that it's are real. Okay, so you can check this out. It's a news footage from the 7 News. You can check that out on YouTube. Okay, but check this out. All right. Hold on, let me get that up.
The Pentagon has confirmed a strange and unexpected sight by Navy personnel off the coast of California. The video shows flying pyramid-shaped objects hovering above the USS Russell and another warship.
It was leaked by filmmaker Jeremy Corbell. He's also shared 3 images from the USS Omaha showing an unknown spherical craft. The Pentagon has confirmed its Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, what a task force that is examining the footage. Creator and editor of ExtraordinaryBeliefs.com, Jeremy Corbell, joins us now. Jeremy, incredible vision. What sets this apart from other UFO sightings captured in the past?
Yeah, it's a pleasure, David and Nat. Nice to be with you. Nice to be with you, Australia. This is a truly global story. What separates this footage compared to other UFO footage you might see is that the U.S. Navy photographed and filmed these pyramid-shaped UFOs and trans-medium vehicles. And as a journalist, I obtained and released some of this historic footage to George Knapp, and this has now, as you said, been directly confirmed by the Pentagon. So that's significant of how quickly their the air and see destruction or impact, and that's what they're seeing with these true unknowns.
So the US Navy, someone on a ship attached to the US Navy shot it, did they?
Well, there's a lot of sensor systems on these ships, as you can imagine. I only released non-classified or unclassified imagery I was able to get my hands on, those videos. That's a hard thing to do. But of course, there are other systems that are completely classified. These are highly documented. Look, they're coming to our warships and surrounding them on a mass scale. And this isn't the first thing. This has been going on for a long time. You're just seeing an open government policy now to talk about it.
The Pentagon is expected to release a report on its findings in June. But what do you think it's going to show? And will they be honest?
So this new candor is astonishing, after so many decades of outright lies and, along with ridicule by world governments. I mean, the U.S. government, the Australian government, the UK, they're all guilty of it, and they all work together on this. But what we're seeing now is we're seeing changes in that environment, and that's what has started this congressional dig into this UFO topic and this, report that we're going to be getting. Well, now, because of what I released with George Knapp, they've got even more to talk about and explain.
So you're saying our government's been lying about extraterrestrial life along with the US government?
Whatever this is, whatever is represented by these advanced aerospace vehicles, I'm not saying it's extraterrestrial. I have no idea. That would be our government's position to tell us. But they've been lying that this has been happening. And so now the cat's out of the bag, toothpaste out of the tube. We're seeing a different type of attitude of world governments. And frankly, it's good. We have a right to know and a need to know as public in America, Australia, and around the world.
Yeah,
we will keep in touch when that report comes out in June. We'll talk to you again to see what it reveals.
No, that was really interesting. And so the question lies, do you believe that UFOs are real? Are they government vehicles? Are they from outer space? Are they from inner space? Are they, is it just a hoax? So the question lies, what do you believe? Now, I've seen personally a UFO, a huge one, back in the 90s, and I've seen things since then, in the night sky. But the one I saw in the 90s was in broad daylight, and it was close to the Little Rock Air Force Base. And I mean, it was like, it wasn't no saucer. I mean, the shape of it was too blocky and the thing was huge. The thing was about as if you wanted to talk about height, you would have to sit there and say that it was, if it was sitting on the ground, probably the height of a 3-story apartment complex. The thing was not real long, probably, and I'm guessing here because it's been a while, but I'm guessing probably about almost the length of a football field, if not a little more. And it was really wide. It was just blocky. I mean, there's just no way anything like that's just gonna hover in the air, with nothing else, to move it, or you know what I mean? It just yeah. It was weird. But the thing is, the question is, do you believe or do you not believe? And what is your thoughts on it? Like on this footage here that I just showed. I'd like to get your take on it, and let's discuss it. All right. I appreciate you. I'm gonna have to get off of here. I got things I got to do. Got to take care of the animals and what have you. And of course, I'm not a breakfast person. Very rarely will I eat a breakfast, so, but gotta make another pot of George. By the way, that's coffee if you didn't know. And so I can pour a cup of hot Joe. All right, so I will catch you later. Love you all. Be blessed and have a great day. And be sure to check out Enola's channel. Be sure to check out the Squatch Watchers and the Thinker Thunker channel on YouTube. Okay. And so, hey, and if you have any links or anything you want to share, to anything interesting, maybe if it's in the news or if it's aliens, UFO things, or Sasquatch, or creatures of legend, hey, share it. Like to catch your take on them and everything. So, all right, you take care and